Hey guys, it's Monica at Academic Phoenix Plus, and welcome to the final tutorial. We have done so much to try to make this concept art come to life. So we've modeled everything, we've UV mapped it, we've textured it, we've created the lighting for it. We also created a mesh network to create these flocking birds, and now it's time to bring it all together. So finally, after all of these hours, I am excited to get that going. This is the mesh network. What I'm going to do is I really don't want the animation. I just want the flocked images, the flocked characters. So what I'm going to do is select this and then go to edit, delete by type history, or you guys are more than welcome to just delete the history here and freeze the transformations if you like. That means that I can now clear this because there is no more mesh network, no more crane, rig, no more. I'm going to get rid of the sky dome. I'm going to get rid of all these things because we just now have a basic bunch of birds. So I'm going to go ahead and call this birds geo. And the nice thing about this is that some of these birds are now geometry, so I can move them around if I want to. So for example, I can go to faces and try to gather this, well, these guys may get stuck together. But let's see if I can kind of separate them a little bit. It's a little tight. Let's see. We'll see in a second if I'm successful, but I just think they're a little close. All right, I'm going to move this to the side. Nope, didn't get everything. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm holding down control and clicking and dragging. Maybe I'll just make some random selections. And nope, still have one. Oh, it looks like I left one behind. All right, I'll move that. And this one's kind of facing upwards, so I might just move him this way. I think that's gonna work. Object mode. And there we go. We have a bunch of birds flying around. Let's see. Let me grab some of these and just bring them down because I know they're supposed to be kind of cluttered together or clustered together. Whoa. So I'll just bring some over here. Maybe this one over here too. So the nice thing is that it would have taken me a long time to duplicate these and move them around, but with the mesh network, it's actually not too bad. I'm going to grab this little guy here, just kind of rotate him. Okay. Good. Let's go to File, Save As, and save it. Mesh, done. All right, don't forget to set your project before you open up your lit scene. So this is the scene that we currently have. I'm going to split this in two and then go to perspective in one and camera on another. Let me try that again. Perspective in one and another. Okay, great. So you can either import it, but what I'm going to do is use what's called a reference editor. A reference editor just means that it's going to take the scene and bring it in without actually bringing in the mesh. So it's very convenient. I'm going to grab my mesh network, click OK. So what's nice about this is that I have this geometry now, and with the reference editor, I can actually turn them on and off. So for example, if I change something in the original file, it will automatically happen here. So for example, if I go ahead and check that off, check that back on, it'll bring them back. So this is really convenient. So any changes I made in the original file, it will mimic over here. Okay, they're massive. Let's go ahead and scale these down. Get him over here. That one's underground. We might have to move him. We'll see. Let's duplicate this one. Let's rotate them around and just kind of place them along here. And let's see what that looks like. Arnold render. All right. Not too bad. Right off the bat, we have a little bit of cluttering, birds drowning. Definitely need to fix those, but overall, that's a really quick way of creating the cranes and bringing them in. So I'm going to go ahead and press stop and try to save some of these poor little cranes. This one looks like it's in bad shape. I'm going to go to face mode. I'll bring you up. Let's see, this one looks like it's in trouble too, so I'll bring that one up. Whoa, looks like there's somebody below him. Let's go in here. view. I think it's rendering. I'm going to stop it. I could hear my computer chugging. It's like, what are you doing? You're doing way too much. I can barely control it. Okay. I think there was somebody else that was... And there's a bunch of birds below, which I guess I'll just grab and bring up. There are a lot of birds in the concept art, so I don't want to add too many birds because then like I can go crazy with duplicating, but I really don't want to have so much mesh. I'm always worried about, even though computers are getting faster and faster, I'm always very concerned that it's going to be too big to render. So I've had files where my scenes were huge and I mean, I couldn't get them to render. It was terrible. So, okay, let your friend go. Look, I'll go the other way. How about that? Oh, I thought I moved you. Let's try you. You're the little cluster here. And let's see what that looks like. Oh, there's still one taking a shower back there. A little bath. Okay, so let's see. Anything that stands out other than this one. Kind of like this one, kind of touching the, might be too close. And then there's this little cluster here. All right, let me fix that really quickly. It does look like it's having a nice time in here, but we gotta... And one of these was a little too close to the water. Whoa. Where'd you come from? That's so funny. Let's see, grab a couple of them. Kind of fill in the scene a little bit more. Fill in some of these holes. And let me get some of these guys out of the way because they were kind of clustered. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Bring this up and press play. All right, so there you have it. Okay, this bird looks like it's about to slam into the wall, so I gotta make sure it's facing the right way. I know, it's sometimes it's not a big, some people don't think it's a big deal, other people think it is. I just want to make sure that since I spent quality time with this, we might as well do a decent job. So I'm going to deselect a portion. I feel like it's selected something. All right, let's rotate you, buddy. So you're at least flying away from the wall. And your friend here too. I don't want him to follow you. Okay. Let's see what that looks like now. See, anytime you watch these things, you just kind of get a little picky. You can't help it. It's your art. So if you're not going to be picky, then who is? All right, everybody. That is the final tutorial. This was a lot of fun to recreate. I hope I did justice to the gentleman that created this piece. I definitely enjoyed observing his art, and he's extremely talented. So make sure you take a look at Richard Wright's portfolio. You can find his link below, and you can see more of his beautiful work, but hopefully this kind of give it a little bit of justice to his piece. So it's not exactly perfect, far from it, but hopefully we kind of captured the essence and the magic of it. We are missing a little guy over here, a gentleman. And I can definitely add more birds, but I think I'm okay with what I have currently, and I'm very happy with the results. So one last thing, I'm going to crank up my value so I get a little bit better render. It's a little noisy. Okay, one last thing. So there's always one last thing, but let's see if I can crank up some of my settings. So right when you're about to render, you want to crank up your settings so that you get the best results. So for example, I want to increase my volumetric settings here and also my samples here on my lights because they're the ones that are emitting fog. And if they're emitting fog, they really need to, the volume settings needs to be a little bit higher. So I'm going to just go ahead and kind of change those a little bit. This one especially as well because it's emitting a lot of fog. Again, I'm just cranking up the values. This is the last thing you do once you're happy with everything that you've made in Arnold. This is where you want to, when you're ready to just kind of let this computer render and do its thing. So right now it's at 322. I usually go to 4, and I just increase the value by 1, 3, 3, 3. We really don't have subsurface, I'll leave that, but we definitely have volumetric. I like to enable adaptive clamping, though 420 is super high, so it's going to take forever to render. So I'm just going to maybe go to 6. And hopefully that does it. Oh, one last thing. I'm going to make this a little bigger. So right now the default HD 540. Let's crank it up to at least a 720. If I was making it for television or anything like that, it would be probably HD 1080 or higher. So there we go. Oops, I got my caps on. This is the nicest thing about Maya is the cap locks is on option. I love that. It saves me so much trouble. I wish everybody would do that. And let's click on this little guy, which is actually going to render. So I'm going to let it do its thing. Can't move it because it's thinking really, really hard. But I'm going to go ahead and pause and I'll be right back to show you the final render. Thank you everybody for being with me during this journey of creating birds and mesh networks and UV mapping, texturing, lighting, fog, and all these things to try to create something magical and mystical. So thank you very much everybody for being there with me. I appreciate everything that you do. Don't forget to take a look at my other videos and subscribe to keep in touch with me. Also take a look at academicphoenixplus.com for free downloads, free tutorials, ebooks, and so much more. That's academicphoenixplus.com. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to reach out. I do my best to try to answer you guys as best as possible. So hopefully you learned something. Keep learning, keep creating, and I will see you next time.